All right, you guys. So we are 8 days, a little over a week before Connecticut Barber Expo. It's been a while since I talked about the Connecticut Barber Expo, but Premier and CT used to be kind of a neck and neck experience, right? It used to be, they're both really, really dope. And I used to really enjoy the Premier. I used to really enjoy the Connecticut Barber Expo. Connecticut Barber Expo was always a little bit more barbering, right? But Orlando was trying their best to make more barbering inclusion, right? The thing about the premiere was that it was so big and they had all kinds of classes and all these things, had the after parties. It was just a good weekend overall. It was still an amazing event. But Connecticut Barber Expo, I would say the last 3 to 4 years, has completely it's set itself apart from any barber expo out there. It's not even close. And I know for a lot of you guys who are kind of new to the industry, learning about these shows and stuff, it might be a surprise to you that Connecticut would have the best expo in the world, in my opinion. And it does. Like, it's a movie, man. Let me tell you a little bit about the expo. Typically, how it goes down is Saturday night is the Grammys, typically. It's an award ceremony for barbers, and it's not just like the first year was a lot of big names. Second year, it was up to the industry to elect people to run for the Grammy. I'm over here talking like it's politics, but also it was based on voting. Right? For the first year, Jay kind of picked everybody. Obviously he has his friends and stuff who helped him pick some of the guys who were doing big things in the industry that first year. I think it was 2019. Then he left the vote to the industry. You got to vote on whoever you thought should win that. It was a move. It was an amazing time. Second year was a great time as well. It's just a dope overall event. You go there, everybody dresses really, really nice. It almost feels like, the Grammys for barbers, right? Then the very next morning is that Sunday morning, and that's when the classes start that Sunday morning. Sundays are usually haircutting, Mondays are usually business, but Sundays is typically the most packed because you guys really like haircutting classes as opposed to the business stuff, which is unfortunate in my opinion, but it is what it is. And they usually have crazy crowd. Like the first time I taught at CT Barber Expo, there was like 500 to 600 people in that classroom. It's great. Like if you get to teach on that stage, it's an experience because you're speaking to a whole lot of people. And, that'll go, I think, all the way to like the afternoon. And then in the afternoon, I think like 12 o'clock-ish, the doors open. Maybe it's 2 o'clock. But you want to get in line as soon as possible. You want to get in line as soon as possible. If you don't get in line as soon as possible, that line is going to be, I'm telling you, insane. If you got VIP tickets, it's going to be a lot shorter. So you get through the doors a lot easier. I personally would get the VIP tickets. I don't get the VIP tickets because I'm a vendor every year, so we get the vendor tickets, right? Vendor passes. But then once you get through the door, you're gonna go into the expo, and it's the biggest damn barber expo you'll ever go to. Like it's huge, hundreds of vendors, several stages. Huge barber battles going on, side education going on. Even after the event, there's like stages for education and stuff. There's all kinds of things going on, giveaways, performers, and vendors are coming out with their hottest new products at this show. Babyliss usually comes out with something new. All the brands will usually come out with something new. They're all going to be there, like the Gammas, the Walls, the Stylecraft, the Andis, everybody except for Oster. I don't ever be seeing them there. Wow. There'll be shear companies there. There'll be new companies with some cool tech that come out there. And honestly, it's overwhelming in the beginning. And it'll take you all day to kind of get through and see all the vendors and really take it all in, right? Because if you're just kind of zooming past stuff, obviously you'll go through it really, really quick. But if you're actually in the moment and experiencing the show, it's going to take you the whole first day to kind of see the booth. What a lot of people will do is they'll browse. At the end of the day, they'll start buying their stuff or they'll buy stuff like right away. And then some people will wait the second day to actually go and start making their purchases. Only thing about waiting the second day is the hot stuff is going to be sold out. Brands are traveling from all over the world, so they only can bring so much product, right? And that's another thing. There are barbers from literally all over the world. Like you'll see barbers from Japan, from Europe, the UK, from South America, from Mexico, all over the world at this show. It's pretty crazy, pretty dope. And then like the venue where it's at, it's in the Mohegan Sun. Now, ain't nothing else to do around in this little town, right? Like it's a small town, and then they got this big casino in the middle of this small town. But this casino is dope. It's up there with the Vegas casinos. They have shows going on, they have restaurants, and make sure you go get your reservations now for these restaurants because they're going to be booked out. They got bars everywhere. Obviously, you can gamble. The places aren't open that late. Like, they're not like your casinos in Vegas where they're open 24 hours. No, I think there's like only a couple spots that are open late. Everything kind of closes kind of early. That's the only thing that sucks. Hopefully this year they'll keep them up open a little bit later. Typically, that's the only thing that sucks. Anyway, Sunday nights, they usually have the after party after the show. And I think this year they're doing kind of a like an 80s, 90s theme. That's always a good time too. We usually try to pull up just to show face. Having that casino there is really cool because you'll see barbers hanging out outside of the show, just networking, you know, or having meetings or doing business, you know. So that's the thing. If you go to the show and you don't go shake hands and you don't try to go out of your way to talk to people and stuff, you're not going to get as much from it as you could. Like if you go to these booths where these brands are, shake hands. Let them know, you know, if you're looking for an opportunity. I personally don't think that's the time to look for an opportunity. I think that's the time to make people remember you and know who you are. But like there's gonna be a lot of chaos at this show, and people don't typically, you know, you're not gonna get people to be like, oh yeah, you know, you want to get sponsored. Oh yeah, you want to work with our company and be a educator. That's typically not the right place for it, but it's the perfect place to put a face to the name, to try to make people remember you. Because one thing that Danny Toomdock always says, man, he always says this is it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And so this is the place to make an impression on people. That's why people, you know, who do well at the barber battles, they leave an impression. And a lot of times you'll see them working with companies after winning the CT Barber Expo, winning at one of those events. Not all the time, but a lot of times, right? If you got this, you're a good person and you can cut, chances are you'll have an opportunity somewhere. Think about how Sean Cut's hair got with us. I mean, I'm so happy for him, man. He's crushing it. The channel's at 85K. Make sure you guys go subscribe. We need to get him to 100,000 subscribers already. He's been deserved it. Sean only cuts hair 2 times a week now, and that's because he needs to make content and because he wants to. You know, he's got a good business at his, you know, with his barbershop. He's making great money as an educator, making great money as an influencer, and he started his career at CT Barber Expo. He got a booth right next to ours. He approached us with an idea, and he wanted us to run with it. He didn't even want money. He just wanted us to create an idea. So we did. He makes money from that product. He's been a hell of an asset for us, and we've been family ever since. You know, this is the place where you create those opportunities. But Sean didn't just come up to us saying, you know, I've been licensed 30 years and I want to be an educator. That's not how it works. You got to bring value to the table. And that's what Sean did. Now he works at our booth and you'll see him educating at CT. Make sure you show him love. I'm sure a lot of guys, a lot of smaller brands, they target our booth to be near us, and other brands target other brands' booths to be near them because they want to build that relationship. They want to network, right? Who knows what it could lead to? I've personally built relationships there that led to new products for us, partnerships for us with Tomb 45. You know, No Drip came to existence from that show. We had our booth, we had our educators going, you know, a cosmetic chemist saw what we were doing. He loved the brand. He loved the way we were doing things. And he approached us with an idea. And we've been partnered with him ever since. That's just a couple reasons why CT Barber Expo could be life-changing for you. I'm not saying this like I'm not getting paid for this, nothing like that, right? Like, I'm genuinely saying this because I think there are people who will go to the show, or there'll be people who don't go to the show because they set certain expectations or they had certain experiences and maybe you just wasn't going about it the right way. Even if you've gone, but you didn't really go. You went, but were you there? Were you invested? I think there's a difference, right? You got to go there with intent, with the right intentions, knowing what you got to do when you get there. Monday morning is the business classes, and then it goes back into the show. And usually Mondays are slower. Mondays, there's still competitions going on. And a lot of the vendors will start giving out deals because if they didn't do well, if they didn't sell that well of a certain item, they're going to try to unload it because you don't want to have to ship all that product back. It's going to cost you the same thing to ship it back and try to sell it then and hold the inventory. It's going to cost you about the same than if you were to just give a 20% discount or 30% discount or something at the show. But you don't want to gamble on that because The other side of it is you wait till Monday and it's sold out, whatever item that is that you're looking for. It's a gamble, right? You got to decide whether it's something you got to have. If it's something you really want, buy it, right? Like there's no point in losing that over 10, 20%. Get your item. But if it's an item that you're on the fence about, wait till Monday, and maybe it's meant to be on Monday, right? I don't know what the grand prizes are for the battles, but I could tell you that usually it's a very expensive piece of jewelry. Like he doesn't just give you a trophy and cash. He gives you like a necklace worth thousands, a bracelet worth thousands, a ring worth thousands of dollars, diamonds in it and stuff. So he does it big for the competition winner, like the main competition winner. But the cash prizes are amazing. And last year we actually sponsored and wrote a check for $10,000 for the winner of the Barber versus TV battle. They try to make it seem like it was all the brands that did it, but no, it was 245 that wrote that $10,000 check. And then Monday, you start wrapping it up. Hopefully you stay the night at the casino, so you get to enjoy the casino a little bit more. Usually Monday night or Tuesday morning, we're out, we're leaving. Typically how the show goes, man, and it's something that everybody should go to at least once in their career, at least once. Experience it. This is like the mecca of your industry. You're gonna have a whole barber career without experiencing this. And leave that negative stuff home. Come with an open mind. No, these barber influencers, most of them are not big-headed. Most of them are regular people like you and I. Like, you think Sean is cocky or something like that? Like, you think, like, most of these people are not what social media has portrayed them to be, but a lot of people think they are. Just because you don't have access to them like that doesn't mean they're stuck up or they're big-headed. Like, most of these people that I've met organically in my career, because I go to the shows so much, you're bound to chop it up, right? With these people. Most of them are regular guys, worked really hard to be where they're at. They're just working hard every day, and they're trying to level up every year. They're trying to get better and get better and get better. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And these people don't owe nobody nothing. Most of these people weren't given handouts either. They worked hard to be in the position that they're in. So I want you guys to have the right mindset when you go to this show. Can't make it this year? Start saving to make it next year. Start saving. What would it take a year from now? $5 a day at the shop. $5 a day just so you can go. Before I had my brand, I was going to shows too. There's a couple reasons why I would go to the shows. Number one, it was like a reunion to me, getting to see a lot of friends and barbers that I chop it up with on social media on the regular anyway. Number two was the education. I wanted to stay in the know, what's going on. Even if I didn't use the information because it didn't really fit my model, I still wanted to at least be exposed to it. The other reason was I wanted to see the newest products that were coming out. I wanted to see how brands at these shows were marketing themselves. I wanted to see how the educators were educating on these stages at these shows. So many of you guys want to be educators and you've never been to the #1 show in the world where the #1 educators go to. It baffles me. I would go to these shows just to see what the top educators were doing. I'm more of an introvert, so I never really shook hands and networked, which I wish I did. I remember I was going to shows before A-Rod was big, before anybody knew who most of these influencers are, bro. I was going to these shows. I remember in one show, I watched Frank the Barber compete, A-Rod compete, Marcus, the guy who cuts Diddy and all them, Marcus P. Hatch, he competed in this barber battle. Papito competed in this barber battle. Like, so many barbers were competing in this barber battle before any of them were doing what they're doing today. I wish I would have been more extroverted and actually networked. So that's why I tell you guys, do it. You never know who you're competing next to. You never know who you're in the same room with. You never know what they're gonna become. Some of you guys won't have ambitions to open a barber school. You should have those relationships now, because when you open your barber school, some of these guys might become big time, bro. And if you already got that friendship and that connection with them before they blow up, they might bring value to your school, and vice versa. And that you might have a platform for them to go educate when they go on tours. Some of you guys want barber supply stores. Fort Worth Barber Supply is killing it. They came out of nowhere. They came to these shows and they were networking. I'll never forget when they approached me and when they were thanking me. I didn't even know who the hell they were. They was like, yo, Chris, thank you, man. You're the first big brand that opened up distribution for us. You gave us a foot in the door. Thank you. And they bought me a drink. I didn't know who they were, but since then, I've been to myself, Sean, Beam, the whole team. We've been to their store how many times? I can't even count now to do classes. And so we help each other grow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. CT Barber Expo has helped create, I'm sure, multiple millionaires. I'm sure multiple big brands, multiple six-figure incomes for some barbers. multiple amazing relationships, and it's helped shift and mold the industry as a whole. This is probably the hub of the industry. If you're not part of it, man, you can't get mad that you ain't getting the results that you want. You got to go to the show. All right, guys. See you on the next video.